They told Barry Allen to run, but this time there was no escape. The Speed Force shattered, and so did his world. When his mother died again, this time by his own mistake, Barry broke. Superman flew in to save him, but he was too late. Grief turned lightning into chaos. Cities burned in seconds. The world begged for mercy, but Hulk heard only rage. He saw a broken boy playing God with time, and he snapped. Now Flash runs faster than light. Hulk hits harder than thunder. And Superman? He's the only thing left standing between them. This isn't justice. This is the end of heroes. The sky over Central City cracked like glass. Time didn't slow, it snapped. Barry Allen ran, not to save the world, not to chase a villain, but to escape the moment he destroyed everything. Seconds ago, he was back in his childhood home, blood on his hands, his mother's voice still echoing from the kitchen. Her laugh, the scent of boiling soup, and then silence. Gone. Again. Only this time, it wasn't Reverse Flash. It was him, Barry. A miscalculated ripple in time. A change too small to notice, until the whole timeline bled. He fell to his knees on a burning street, surrounded by static and ash. Buildings deformed like wax, people flickering in and out of reality. Children crying in double voices, shadows moving before bodies. The Speed Force wasn't just unstable, it was angry. Superman arrived like a beam of hope slicing through the madness. A sonic boom behind him. A white cape instead of red, soaked with stormwater. He hovered above Barry, eyes glowing, but not with heat vision, with grief. Barry, Clark whispered, touching down. What did you do? Barry didn't look up. His fingers dug into the asphalt, vibrating with residual lightning. I tried to fix it. I just wanted her back. I didn't mean. You folded the timeline into itself, Superman said. We're standing on 3 collapsed realities. I can hear people screaming from alternate versions of this city. You broke the walls, Barry. I know, Barry shouted, sparks dancing off his back. I know, but I thought if I just went a little further back. You didn't go back, Barry, Clark said softly. You ripped through. Time isn't a highway. It's glass. And now it's cutting everything. The ground trembled. But it wasn't Barry. It was something coming. A roar thundered across the skyline. Not a plane. Not a storm. Hulk. He landed with the weight of a meteor. The concrete cratered beneath his feet, pavement exploding in all directions. Green, furious, eyes glowing, not with gamma, but with raw cosmic distortion. This wasn't the Hulk of the Avengers. This was Timeline Hulk. Warped. Oversaturated. Dragged through too many alternate realities by a collapsing Speed Force. His body twitched with inconsistencies. One arm larger than the other, scars from battles that hadn't happened yet. Memories colliding like freight trains in his skull. Flash. His voice shook windows. World broken. You did this. Barry's heart skipped. The Speed Force flared up like a scream. Bruce, wait. Superman stepped between them. He didn't mean to. He touched time. Hulk growled. Veins glowing green and blue. Now time touches back. Barry backed away, trembling. I can fix this. I just need one more jump. No. Superman's voice cracked like thunder. No more jumps. No more resets. No more do-overs. He turned to Barry, grabbing his arm, eyes fierce. You keep chasing ghosts. And every time people die. We have to end it here. Now. Before the multiverse tears itself apart. I can fix it, Barry whispered. You said that last time, Clark said. Hulk took a step forward. The ground shattered. Buildings creaked. Barry's vision blurred. The Speed Force inside him roared, twisting around his ribs like a serpent. His mother's voice haunted him. Her scream. Her blood. He ran. Not forward. Not backward. But through. In a burst of blinding blue lightning, Barry shot between Superman and Hulk, vanishing into a vibrating ripple of air. The shockwave sent cars flying, cracked glass across 5 blocks. Damn it. Superman growled, fists clenched. He's going to break it again. Hulk's eyes narrowed. You stop him, or Hulk will. And then he leapt, after the blur. Barry didn't know where he was anymore. The year? irrelevant. The reality? Fragile. Time twisted into a looping corridor, each step pulling him deeper into timelines that shouldn't exist. In one, he saw himself as a villain, crowned king over a dead Earth. In another, he saw his mom alive, but his father dead, crushed under a red sky. He ran past Supermen who were evil, Wonder Women who ruled with iron fists, and Batmen who didn't stop criminals. They harvested them. The Speed Force wasn't a power anymore. It was a curse. He saw Wally West disintegrate mid-run. He saw Jay Garrick trapped in an endless race on a collapsing cosmic treadmill, screaming forever. And then, Barry stopped. Not because he wanted to, because someone grabbed him from the outside. Superman burst through the speed corridor, fists blazing with golden energy borrowed from the sun itself. He slammed Barry into a wall of pure time, holding him with both arms. "I told you," Clark growled, eyes glowing like twin suns. "Stop running." "I can't," Barry screamed. "If I stop, everything collapses. If I keep going, maybe." "Maybe what?" "You'll erase us all trying to save one person." Barry's lip trembled. "You don't understand." "I do," Superman said, voice breaking. "I see everyone die every day. I hear cries from halfway across the planet. I can't save them all, Barry. Neither can you." A new tremor hit. Not time. Hulk. He tore through the corridor like a storm, arms wide, slamming both of them into a wave of collapsing energy. Superman took the hit, shielding Barry with his body as they smashed through layer after layer of time rubble. Barry hit the ground hard, coughing up blood. Hulk landed beside him. Enough. His roar wasn't sound. It was pressure, like a planet breathing. "You broke too much, Flash. You made Hulk remember everything." What do you mean?" Barry gasped. Hulk grabbed his own head, growling. "Every reality. Every time Hulk died or lost control. I remember. You made them real. All of them. At once." "I didn't mean to." Hulk leaned closer. "Then run. And don't ever stop." He raised his fist. Superman flew in, catching it mid-air. The shock wave split the corridor. "Barry," Clark shouted. "Go. I'll hold him." "But..." "Go." Barry vanished in a crack of lightning. Superman turned back to Hulk. His cape torn, his chest burned. "I don't want to fight you, Bruce." Hulk's face twisted with fury and pain. "Then lose fast." Barry Allen ran with no direction, only desperation. The Speed Force bent around him like a living storm, flickering between realities. One second he was on a rooftop in Gotham, the next, ruined Metropolis, where statues of Darkseid wore Superman's face. Every step deeper made the world less recognizable, less real. He wasn't running to fix anything anymore. He was running to outrun guilt. But guilt travels faster than light. And so does fury. Behind him, time warped open. A sound like a dying star filled the air. Hulk had found him again. Reality didn't ripple. It snapped in panic. This Hulk wasn't just chasing Barry across time. He was learning the Speed Force, tuning his rage, channeling cosmic trauma like fuel. And the more broken the timeline became, the stronger he got. Barry turned, skidding to a stop in a world that wasn't quite Earth. The sky was green. The moon was bleeding. He couldn't even feel a heartbeat here. It was a dead realm. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone," Barry whispered. Hulk landed like a meteor 10 feet away. His face? A mix of Bruce Banner's agony and a god's wrath. Eyes glowing, teeth clenched, skin cracked like molten stone. "Intent doesn't matter," Hulk growled. "You rewrote the laws of time because you were sad. You don't get to cry about consequences." Barry clenched his fists. "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly," Hulk barked. "I've lost more people than you could ever know. And I didn't rip the multiverse open to bring them back." Barry charged, faster than thought. Hulk swung. The air cracked like thunder, and they collided. Flash circled around, vibrating through Hulk's side with a phased punch. It should have passed through, but it didn't. Hulk absorbed it, adapted, grabbed Barry mid-phase, and slammed him into a collapsed skyscraper. Debris exploded. Barry coughed blood, ears ringing. "You're learning the Speed Force?" he gasped. "I'm not learning," Hulk growled. "I'm becoming." A shadow swept overhead. Then a beam of gold light split the sky, Superman, crashing in like a comet, fists glowing with solar fire. "Get off him." He hit Hulk like a cannonball, sending the green monster flying across the ruined cityscape. Clark knelt beside Barry. "You okay?" Barry blinked. "You followed me?" "Of course I did. I don't leave people behind." They both turned. Hulk stood again. He shouldn't have survived that hit. But this wasn't Banner anymore. This was something worse. "This isn't about Flash anymore," Hulk said, voice deeper than before. "This is about everyone who thinks they're above consequence. Gods, speedsters, aliens." His fists clenched. "You fix time like a toy. Superman saves worlds like he's a messiah. Meanwhile, the rest of us? We burn." Superman hovered. "Bruce, I know you're hurting. But this isn't you." "I remember every timeline now," Hulk said. "Every death, every betrayal, every time Banner begged for peace and got punished for it." His form surged. Taller, heavier. Reality flickered around his fists. "Thanks to Barry, I'm not bound by time anymore." Barry stood up. "Please. Let me undo it, just one jump back." "No," Superman snapped. "You'll make it worse. You always make it worse." Hulk roared. "Then let's end here." He lunged forward, and the ground turned to magma beneath him. Superman met him midair, fists blazing. The collision turned the sky into glass. Barry was flung backward, tumbling through a collapsing time bubble. Fists met fury. Speed met strength. They were no longer fighting in one timeline. They were tearing through all of them. Every punch shifted the setting. Metropolis, then Krypton, then Planet Sakaar, then a version of Earth ruled by Doomsday, where Superman wore chains. Each hit carved deeper into the multiverse. Barry watched, helpless, as titans collided. He couldn't run anymore. He had to decide. Fix it, or die trying. But how? Suddenly, from the edge of the time flux, a new voice emerged. Soft, familiar. "Barry." He turned. It was his mother, or one version of her, alive, smiling. But her eyes were glowing gold. Her body shimmered with Speed Force energy. "Mom." She stepped forward. "You have to let go of me." Tears filled his eyes. "I can't. If I do, the multiverse dies, Barry," she said. "Your grief gave birth to monsters." Behind him, Hulk roared, punching Superman through 10 layers of spacetime. Blood flew. Bones cracked. "You need to be the hero again," she said, fading. "You need to stop running from pain and start running toward purpose." Barry screamed, lightning erupting from his body. He turned to the battlefield. Superman was on his knees, Hulk towering over him, fist raised for the final blow. Barry charged. Time bent. Energy surged. He didn't run through space. He ran through Hulk's timeline. Every trauma, every loss, every moment Banner cried in silence. Barry saw it all, and then he shared it. Barry touched Hulk's core. The Speed Force wrapped around both of them, like a chain of memory. Suddenly, Hulk froze mid-punch. He gasped, looking at Barry. "You." "I didn't come to fight," Barry said. "I came to say I'm sorry." The timeline cracked again. But this time, something changed. The Speed Force didn't scream. It hummed. Soft. Healing. Like it, too, was ready to let go. Barry fell to his knees, exhausted. Hulk shrunk down. Banner's voice returned. Superman stood up, blood dripping, breathing heavy. They were still alive. But the war wasn't over. From the distance, beyond the veil of time, a new ripple approached. One Barry hadn't created. One older than all of them. A presence that watched everything. Waiting. Reverse Flash. Smiling. The world had just begun to stabilize. Barry knelt in the crater, lightning still crackling off his skin. Superman hovered overhead, fists unclenched, his breathing steady but heavy. Behind them, Hulk stood in silence, no longer monster, just a man who'd remembered too much. But peace is never more than a pause when the timeline's broken. A tremor rolled through the air. Then another. Not thunder. Laughter. Slow. Mocking. Echoing across every reality at once. Barry's spine stiffened. No. Not now. The sky peeled open like paper, and a figure stepped through, dressed in black and yellow, outlined in vibrating red energy, eyes glowing like two collapsing stars. Reverse flash. Eobard Thawne. The man Barry had spent his entire life trying to outrun. But this wasn't the same Thawne he knew. This one had bathed in broken timelines. This one had watched Barry destroy reality trying to fix his mother, and smiled through every second of it. I was wondering when you'd finally shatter it all, Thawne smirked, his boots touching down on fractured ground. You did well, Barry. You saved her. Then lost her. Then broke the multiverse crying about it. Leave, Superman warned, eyes glowing. Thawne's smile grew. Oh, Kal-El, you think this is about you? He blurred forward faster than Barry, and punched Superman straight into a frozen dimension where time hadn't even started. A sonic boom followed 10 seconds later. Barry tried to move, but Thawne was already in front of him. He grabbed Barry's throat, held him midair. You gave me the perfect world, Barry, Thawne whispered. One where time is so broken, I can kill you over and over and you'll never stay dead. Barry gasped, vibrating to phase through, but Thawne had already synced with the speed force. He matched every vibration, every frequency. You're not the fastest man alive anymore, Thawne whispered. You're just the loudest mistake in the multiverse. Suddenly, Hulk charged from behind. But Thawne didn't even look. He moved an inch. Hulk's punch missed by a centimeter. Thawne flicked a finger, and Hulk was gone. Not dead. Just deleted from this moment. Barry screamed. What did you do? Relax, Thawne said. He's fine. Just spread across 14 timelines. I even gave him one where Betty loves him. He dropped Barry to the ground like trash. Let me show you what real control of time looks like. He snapped his fingers, and everything rewound. Barry blinked. He was back in his childhood home. Again. The clock on the wall read 6:12 p.m. The soup was boiling. His mother was humming. But something felt wrong. Too quiet. Too clean. Then he noticed there were two shadows in the kitchen. One, his mother. The other, Thawne. Sitting at the table. Sipping tea. Come join us, Barry, Thawne called, smiling over the rim of the cup. It's family dinner. Barry's legs moved on their own. His mind was screaming, but his body obeyed the timeline. Do you like it? Thawne asked. I rebuilt this loop from scratch. Every molecule placed by hand. It's your greatest dream, Barry. He leaned in. And your deepest prison. Barry looked at his mother. She smiled, oblivious. He wanted to scream, to run. But the speed force wasn't working. Not here. Not in a loop Thawne built. What do you want? Barry hissed. I want you to suffer correctly, Thawne said. No more multiverse-breaking tantrums. No more resets. Just this forever. Her smile. Your guilt. The soup boiling every night at 6:12. Welcome to the hell you created. Barry shook. His fists clenched. The floor trembled. He whispered, I'm not done yet. Outside the loop, in a frozen moment of time, Superman returned. Bloodied, bruised, but alive. He hovered over the timeline loop, scanning it. Layers upon layers, fractal traps built into the seconds. A prison made from love. Then a ripple moved. Banner. He emerged, unstable and glowing, pieces of himself still flickering from being across time. Where is he? Banner rasped. Superman nodded toward the loop. I can get him out, Bruce said. But I won't be human after. Clark looked him dead in the eyes. Then I'll be there to catch you. Banner took a breath and let go. Hulk exploded out of Bruce like a nuclear memory. He dove into the loop, ripping time apart with raw, unfiltered trauma. Every version of his past, rage, loss, pain, fueling him like gamma fire. Inside the loop, Barry's hand twitched. The air shimmered. And then, boom, Hulk burst through the kitchen wall. Thawne stood, shocked for the first time in a century. How? Because pain doesn't just destroy, Hulk growled. It wakes people up. Barry moved. The speed force ignited in a pulse of blue fire. He stood, His mother faded, not screaming, just fading. It was time. Barry turned. You gave me a dream, Thawne, but I'm ready to wake up. He punched, and the loop shattered. They all tumbled out of the broken memory into raw, white chronospace, the space between time. Static lightning, floating shards of dead universes, soundless screams of what never was. Superman, Hulk, Flash, and Thawne, face to face. No tricks, no loops, no more running, just finality. Thawne smirked. This is it then? The broken god, the alien saint, and the angry ghost versus me. Superman hovered higher. Not versus you. Flash raised his hands, lightning dancing. Hulk cracked his knuckles. Without you. Chronospace pulsed like a living heart, shattered time swirling around them in waves of raw possibility. Below their feet, infinite timelines blinked like dying stars. Above, broken versions of Earth collided in silence. Superman hovered at the center, cape torn, fists glowing with filtered sunlight. Hulk stood beside him, twitching with unstable gamma energy, half banner, half living trauma. And Flash was no longer afraid. Barry Allen had stopped running. You broke time trying to save her, Thawne sneered, circling them like a vulture. Now you're trying to save time itself? That's rich. His boots sparked red lightning with every step. He wasn't just a villain anymore. He was a force. Speed twisted around him like a living storm, fed by every broken moment Barry had ever caused. This ends now, Superman said, voice like thunder. Thawne grinned. That's right. You die, I win. You live, I win louder. In a flash, he vanished, then reappeared behind Barry mid-punch. But Barry was faster. He phased, letting Thawne's punch pass through, then hit him with a counterpulse of lightning that sent him spiraling into a collapsing memory of Krypton. Hulk leapt after him, fists cocked. Thawne screamed as Hulk landed a blow that ripped a scream from the Speed Force itself. His body tumbled across reality shards, every hit changing the world around them. They fought through time echoes. A Gotham ruled by Bane. A metropolis underwater. A world where Barry had never existed. Each punch rewrote fate. But Thawne wasn't breaking. He was feeding on it. I've been waiting for this fight, he shouted, laughing. Every timeline where I lose, I remember. Every one you erase, I get stronger. Barry grit his teeth, racing across time spirals to tackle Thawne mid-boast. You remember failure. I remember why I kept going. He dragged Thawne through the moment he first became the Flash. Through the night he lost his mother. Through every death he failed to stop. Every one that shaped him. Superman soared in, eyes burning gold. We're not fighting to win, he growled. We're fighting to end this. He hit Thawne like a solar bomb. Thawne crashed into a collapsing Earth, 6, barely catching himself mid-fall. You think this stops with me? The damage is already done. He raised his arms, and the broken multiverse answered. Twisting energy poured into him. Dead timelines, forgotten wars, erased memories. Thawne became something more. A being of pure paradox. Reverse eternity, fused with every failed version of himself. His voice echoed in chords. You can't kill a contradiction. Barry stepped forward. I don't need to. He closed his eyes. The Speed Force around him began to hum. Not rage, not chaos, but balance, purpose. The ground beneath them shimmered, crack sealed, floating shard aligned. Barry wasn't fueling the Speed Force. He was sinking with it. He ran, not away, not to the past, but into the center of all time, the 0 second, the beginning of beginnings. Superman flew beside him. Hulk bounded forward, glowing like a star about to explode. They brought everything. All their rage, all their hope, all their pain. Thawne screamed, unleashing a storm of contradiction, tearing at the seams of existence. But Barry met it with a whisper. I forgive you. And he touched Thawne's chest. The Speed Force surged through him. And for the first time ever, Thawne saw every life he could have lived. One where he became a hero. One where he saved Barry's mom. One where he died loved. And, in that moment, Eobard Thawne broke. Not from a punch. Not from death. From truth. He faded. And with him, so did the chaos. Chronospace began to heal. Superman hovered in silence, looking down at Barry. "You okay?" he asked. Barry, eyes red, nodded. "I stopped running." Hulk exhaled, finally at peace. "Then, maybe we all can." Silence. For the first time in forever. There was no screaming, no broken timelines, no collapsing realities. Just a slow, gentle wind across a healed multiverse. Barry Allen stood at the edge of chronospace, staring into the golden mist where Eobard Thawne once stood. There was no explosion, no victory shout, just release. Thawne was gone, not erased, not defeated, redeemed. And that hurt more than any battle. Superman floated beside Barry, cape still torn, chest rising slow. "You did it," he said softly. "You rewrote everything by letting go." Barry didn't respond right away. His eyes were locked on the place where the loop had begun. The second that broke the world. 6:12 p.m. The boiling soup. The kitchen. The scream. And then her voice. Not from the past. From within. "Barry, it's okay now." He closed his eyes. The speed force curled around him like a mother's embrace. Not screaming, not raging. Just still. "I can see them," Barry whispered. "All the timelines. All the versions of me that never got back up. That gave in. That broke." Superman nodded. But this one stood. Behind them, Hulk sat on a floating shard of reality, silent, exhausted, and calm. Not Banner. Not Beast. Just Bruce. "Time still scarred," Hulk murmured. "But it's healing." Barry turned to Superman. "What happens now?" Clark floated downward, planting his feet on the shard. "We give the multiverse what it needs most." Barry tilted his head. "Which is?" Clark smiled. "A second chance." Together, the three of them stood at the heart of all time. The 0 second. A place where reality is written like code, and choice is law. Barry raised his hand. The speed force responded. He didn't run. He walked. Each step forward lit up a new timeline, not built on grief, but on growth. Not to bring people back, but to carry their memory forward. He wasn't rewriting the past. He was rebuilding the future. 1 second at a time. And then, it was done. The last ripple faded. The last echo stilled. Barry opened his eyes. He was standing in Central City. Alive. The streets weren't perfect. There were cracks in the pavement. Sirens in the distance. Life being messy. But it was real. And his mother? Gone. But not forgotten. No more loops. No more resets. Just memory. And peace. Clark landed beside him, now in a fresh suit, colors brighter, lighter. "The world's still going to need saving." Barry smirked. "Then it's good we're still fast." From above, a low rumble. Banner floated down inside a stabilization pod. Half Hulk, half man. Balanced. Breathing. "Multiverses stabilizing," he said. "Still some anomalies, but we held the line." Clark offered his hand. "You didn't just hold it. You saved it." Hulk smiled. "A real one. Don't tell anyone. I've got a reputation." Later, as the stars began to settle into place, Barry stood alone at the edge of Central City Park. He looked out across the skyline, lights blinking, kids laughing, the air filled with possibility. He held a photo in his hand. His mother, smiling, holding him as a boy. He didn't cry. Not this time. Because he remembered, and that was enough. A voice from behind. "Nice view." Barry turned. "Wally West." "You're late," Barry said with a grin. Wally shrugged. "Timeline lag. You kinda tore the cosmos apart for a while." Barry laughed. "Let's just say," he said, looking up at the sky, "I finally ran toward something that mattered." Cloud with lightning, the end.